we need to do Pledge of Allegiance, that kind of thing, or not?
No, we can just, we'll start the broadcast and then you can call to order.
Okay.
Recording in progress.
All right. I'd like to call this meeting to order at, I think it's 3:05. And do we need to do roll call attendance? Then the clerk could begin that.
Yes, we do. Councilmember Barber. Councilmember Garcia.
Present.
Councilmember Hapa.
Present.
Councilmember Smith.
Present.
And Mayor Williamson.
Okay, and we just have one item. The there we go. Approved purchase of 4 2023 Ford Police SUV Interceptors in the amount of $200,563.36 from Folsom Lake Ford, increasing the FY 22-23 budget in the equipment replacement fund. I don't know if we need a staff report or not. I don't know how. I don't need one myself, but if any other council member would like one, please.
And I'm sorry, Vice Mayor Hoppe, we do need to formally announce procedures on how people can participate in the meeting. We'll try to be as brief as possible, but don't want to miss that.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So this is a Zoom meeting only. So Zoom procedures, there are 2 ways to virtually participate in today's meeting. You may join using the Zoom app on your computer or mobile device, and you can also call in to the Zoom meeting. To join the meeting on Zoom on your computer, smartphone, or telephone, use the link or phone number on the agenda at isearchmonterey.org. An up-to-date version of the Zoom software must be used. To call in by telephone, dial toll-free 833-568-8864, then enter meeting ID 161-384-4440 pound. And if prompted to enter a participant ID, press pound. Detailed instructions on using and updating Zoom are available at monterey.org/public meetings. To make a public comment using the Zoom app, you can virtually raise your hand by pressing the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen. If you're dialing in by phone, raise your hand by dialing *9 and then unmute yourself when called upon by dialing *6. You must do both. Public commenters will be muted until it is their turn to speak. We will call on each public speaker in the order of their hands raised. Please stay within the time limit established for today's meeting. A countdown timer will be shown on the screen. If you are connected live on Zoom, the timer is accurate with no delay. Today's meeting is also streamed live on the city's YouTube account at youtube.com/City of Monterey with a 10-second delay, and on Comcast Channel 25 with up to a 90-second delay. As always, we look forward to receiving your public comment.
All right, thank you very much for explaining to the public. Do we have any members of the public who are wanting to join in?
We do not, Mr. Vice Mayor.
Okay. I don't know if the Assistant Police Chief Bruno would like to say a few things introducing this item, or if we want to just go right to a discussion and vote. Why don't you go ahead and just say a few things, Assistant Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor and City Council. I didn't know if I think Andrea had some information on the vehicles. Sorry about that.
All right, maybe Andrea would like to introduce the item.
Yes, thank you, council members. I appreciate everyone huddling together for this item. This is a very important item, and Rex has a lot of details. So to make a very long story short, we are dealing with a chip shortage. We're dealing with a issue with police vehicles. It's very hard to find them. We thought we had 4 CHP cars that got returned, but we didn't. The dealership called us and they said that they have 4 cars that were not purchased by the LA school district that were available. And so we're taking this opportunity to procure these cars so that we have replacement police vehicles.
All right, thanks for that report. Are there any questions from the council?
The only question I have is, I know they're going to be secured with this contract. What year are the vehicles?
These are 2023 vehicles.
Okay, great. That's the only question I have, Vice Mayor.
Okay, thank you. And Gino, any questions? You got your hand up. Go ahead. We can't hear you, so hang on one second. I don't know if is that on his.
Sorry, that was me. Never gets old. My apologies. Thank you and good afternoon, everyone. I have a couple questions. One is, I may have missed this context. Maybe it was previously shared, but I'm just curious to know why the number 4, and how does that process work in terms of identifying that number? Is it that 4 vehicles are unusable, so we need to replace them with new ones, or are they getting to that expiration date? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so we have 16 patrol cars usually active driving. We replace a patrol car every 4 to 5 years or 100,000 miles, whatever comes first. 4 is kind of a standard number for that. The cars that we will select to be replaced are the ones that are in the most need to be replaced. Either they have a high mileage, or they have a transmission that is falling out, or something like that. If we still can use the car a little longer, we keep one car. We like to keep one car up there as a reserve unit, so we are not necessarily just replacing 4 because we see it. But if there's a car that we can use a little longer, we keep one there, because from time to time, Assistant Chief Bruno might even admit to that. The police smashes the car, and it's good to have a reserve vehicle up there. So a car gets hit by another car, for instance, and it's total, and then we have a reserve car there. What you need to know also, the cars are the officers for the officers. They sit in that car a long time during their shifts. So there is a lot of wear and tear on those cars. And when we replace them, the candidates that we have right now for that replacement are probably in the high 70s to high 80,000 mile range. When the car come to us, we still have to send them to a subcontractor. It's Lehr right now, Lehr, and they are equipping it then with a cage and with digital stuff that goes into the sirens, etc. So that's another $14,000, $16,000 package per car. I don't know. We use usually the light bars twice. So, but the light bars are also getting updated. There are new fancy light bars there, so we want to make sure that they have the right equipment. Last but not least, the more you know, the better you are. The front doors are bulletproof, and they serve as a space where an officer can stand protected behind the door in case they get involved into a fight. And when the car is being sold again, we have to strip the car of all the things that make it a patrol car. So the cars will be also sold, and we don't get a lot of money from used patrol cars, but we also get some funds back when they are sold. So I hope that answers that question.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. That definitely does. The second question that I had was, and I absolutely support getting new vehicles for our officers. I'm curious to know if there's been a conversation before about transitioning the fleet over to electric.
Absolutely, yes. We have looked at that last year, and I think the year before. Tesla has a presence in Seaside. I don't know if they have already. Chief Bruno, do they use their Tesla as a patrol car? They have a Tesla over there, I understand. But we keep looking at that, absolutely, and we want to get into that area of electric patrol cars as well. But right now, there's not a product there that we deem as useful and economic.
Great, thank you so much.
All right. right, any other questions? Okay, and could we check with the clerk, could you check just again to make sure there's no members of the public who would like to comment?
There are no
All
members
right,
of the public.
then I would entertain a motion if somebody is so inclined.
I
I'll
move
make
to
the
approve.
motion, Vice Mayor.
Okay,
I'll second.
all right, thank you. So motion made by Councilmember Smith, seconded by Councilmember Garcia. Let's go to a roll call vote, please.
Okay, Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Garcia,
Yes.
and Councilmember Hoppa.
Yes. All right, so the motion passes. I believe this concludes our agenda. So we'll be adjourning now, and thank you all for joining and appreciate it very much.